G'day fellas and ladies, how you doing? Well, I'm finally back. It's been a while since I made a video, right? But you may notice I'm actually in a garage. Amazing, right? Well, I finally picked up one, but it certainly isn't at the old place. Now, the reason I haven't been on making any videos for such a long time is because I've left Queensland and I've moved to Western Australia. I'm really happy about it. Glad to be home, to be honest with you. But yeah, back here, and I've set up shop over here and I've got a few projects on the go. But I'm so happy that I've got this garage. It's just, it's a game changer for me. It just wasn't working over in Queensland, and yeah, these are the things we do, right? So, what have I been doing? Now, apart from the move over here and getting set up in my new workshop, which is really good. And it's not huge, it's just a standard, normal garage, one car kind of thing, but it's more of a workshop than a place to put a car or anything, right? But when it came to the XH Ute, she didn't get finished. Now, I did complete it to the point where it was ready for paint, but because I decided to move back over to home, she had to go. I'll slide a couple of photos in here of how she was, but she got sold and she's moved on. But no big deal there. I like doing the XH, but it wasn't my favourite sort of vehicle, that's for sure. But I have got some new projects, and I'll show you that in a minute. But basically what it comes down to is I'm glad to be back, and I hope to see you all in the comments again, which will be really nice. But this transition coming over here back to Western Australia really has taken a long time. There's all sorts of things involved in it, not only getting rid of the old house and selling up and just moving here, but there's a bit of a housing shortage going on, so it's quite difficult to get a place where you can set up and get your, what you need, right? But long story short, I'm here, I'm ready to go again, and I'll be making a lot more videos now. So, what am I going to be doing? Well, I guess I'll have to show you some of the projects that are happening, right? Righto, for starters, we've got this little fella here. Nice little 302 V8. Now, they're not super popular, but the thing is trying to get a 351 these days is pretty tricky, right? It's really expensive, and finding one that hasn't been molested is next to impossible, and the price is just ridiculous, right? But a 302 V8, they're a brilliant motor. Most guys will try to go for that 5.1, but these days you can pick up these fairly readily. They are getting a lot harder, but a 302, it's a brilliant engine, and it's going to suit the purposes that I need, that's for sure. But this one certainly needs a big rebuild. It's an original motor. The fella put on some shiny bits, but it never really did much. It does have the four barrel manifold intake on it, which is really good, because they're getting a little harder to pick up as well. And a few other bits and pieces I've got for it. It's got this XC steering wheel as well, but they're costing a fortune these days as well, so whenever I see these laying around, I'll certainly will grab them. But it hasn't got a centre, as you can see, no centre in it. But this actual, the soft part around here, it's all good, it doesn't move. So if I get it recovered, it'll be a very good steering wheel. You can pay up to $700 for one of these in restored condition. But even one like this kind of condition, you're looking at $300-400 sometimes. So I was pretty lucky to pick this one up, and it only cost me $100. Well, I'm pretty happy about that too, right? But I'll put that over here. So back to this motor. I'm going to do a full rebuild. She'll be completely, maybe just a little bit over stock, maybe a little bit of a lumpy cam in it, something like that. But nothing too radical, because I want drivability. I don't want a racing car, because I do have a vehicle for this to go in, which I will show you shortly. But this is going to be a cruising motor. It'll have original Ford parts all on it. It'll be all original carburetor. I can't think of the name of the motor carburetor off the top of my head at the moment, but it'll be standard. They're about 800 CFM, those standard carburetors, so they're quite good. But I want to go back to fully original, so it's not a souped up V8, right? But she'll have a bit of sting in her, that's for sure. But this was an electronic ignition motor, which is also good. But you'll notice that from about 1976, they started putting EFI on the fair lanes and things like that, and you had a big chunky digital electronic thing stuck on the inside of the guard, and yeah, they were pretty ordinary. They weren't bad for their time, but compared to now, obviously they're almost cop, right? But it will be getting electronic ignition, that's for sure, because things are starting to get quite difficult to get for the old points. You know, the rotor buttons and things like that, getting a little tricky. But I'll talk to you more about that one later. But over here, over the other side there, I'll bring the camera in a little bit closer for you. So over here, this one, put that there. This one is a good old 250 crossflow. They're a 6-cylinder motor, brilliant engine in their day. They're a bit of a workhorse. They're a low revving engine, they've got a long stroke on them. But when you put a turbo on one of these things, they go hell for leather, and they're a brilliant motor. You know, they're not as good as a Barra, but the cool thing about these motors is you don't have any of these computer systems and all of that sort of stuff. If you're going to do a Barra swap in an older car or something, you know, it's very expensive, and there's a lot of work involved, especially when it comes to the ECUs and the computer modules and all that sort of stuff. I don't particularly like that. I like enjoying building. I'm not into creating problems for myself, especially if I can avoid bending as well. So yeah, this is going to be a little project motor, and I'll rebuild her up, and she's going to be, you know, more than likely getting a turbo on her. She will be built for a turbo, but the thing is that the car that I've got as a project right now does currently have a 6-cylinder in it, and this here is a 2-barrel intake manifold. And on the old girl that I've got, it's only got a 1-barrel intake manifold, so this will work straight on that car. So I'm looking forward to playing with this motor actually. The 250s were a brilliant engine, and they do just keep on going. They are the father of the Barra. You wouldn't have a Barra today without the 250 crossflow, that's for sure. But another project waiting to go. So I suppose you'd be interested to know what the vehicle is that I've got as a project now. I'll give you a little sneak peek. Righto, there she is, down there hiding in the carport, undercover. Now this is a brilliant car, all right? Give her a bit of a zoom in so I don't have to walk down there. As you can see, she's a 1978 XC Falcon 500. She's a 6-pack, column auto, nothing spectacular, but there is some very, very interesting things about this car which I'll fill you in on in another video, because this is just letting you know what's going on, right? But she's an absolute stunner, that one. So as you can see, I've got plenty on the go, and that project is sitting over there just waiting for me. I haven't started doing anything on it yet because I wanted to bring you guys along. This will definitely be completed, this vehicle. We will not be moving from Western Australia. This is home, and we'll be staying here for quite some time, that's for sure. Probably in this property as well. I'm only renting at the moment because you know, when you move interstate, it's a bit tricky to be buying houses interstate and all that sort of stuff unless you're just an investor who doesn't care. But we're looking for the right place for us, so we're going to spend a little time here and make sure that we get exactly what we want, and I need to have that workshop. So I will be here for a bit, and we'll be playing with these projects along the way. But I certainly have got my hands full, and I'm really looking forward to getting stuck into it. And I'm absolutely busting at the seams to get into that XC. You know, but like I say, I wanted to bring you guys along for the whole tour on it. And it was a bit of a shame that we didn't get to finish the XH. But you know, like I say, you know, life happens, and you've just got to roll with the flow and you know, make sure things get done correctly. But this setup that I've got now is going to sort things out quite well. I'll give you a little spin around the garage, you know, show you what's going on, and see what you reckon, right? Righto, we'll start over here. These have got some nice little cabinets full of all my goodies, bits and pieces. We've got a nice little bench. It's just working quite well. All the tools and plenty of shelving space to put all the products that I need. Picked up a nice little you know, engine crane and hoist. Obviously I use that to get these fellas on the stands, because we need those. And over here, just down there, we've got a full power steering system for the XC. And she's a bit heavy, and I'm getting a bit old and soft, so. But got the old sandblaster going, the Karcher gear. It's nothing amazing, but it's basically a good setup. I don't know if you can hear me over the fellow on his motorbike out there, but it's pretty much what I need. Got another storage shed out there, so all my bits and pieces can go in there. I don't have to store them all in here, but generally it's not a bad little garage, right? It's going to do the trick. It's plenty big enough for what I need, that's for sure. So that's the garage. Can't believe I finally got one. It's amazing. So righto guys, that's about it for this one, but I'm glad to be back, and I really do hope you join me. It's going to be good fun, especially if you like doing this type of stuff, right? I'm going to try and keep things a little bit more entertaining as I can, but you never know what's going to come along. I do have some other surprise projects in the pipeline. A few weeks from now I've got another thing coming, which is going to be really cool, but I'm in two minds exactly what I'm going to do about that one. You'll see what it is. I'm just trying to basically give you an insight as to what's coming. This isn't a video about actually doing stuff just yet, because I really did need to just get back here and let you all know that I'm still alive and that I haven't dropped off the perch. I'm not doing my other YouTube channels anymore, so it's just this one. This one I want to focus on. I prefer to do this. It's much more entertaining and enjoyable for me. But now that I'm back in Perth, I've got all my old contacts back, which is, it's just so much better to be doing stuff when you've got guys you've known for 30 years. You can pick things up really quickly, and they know stuff, and you get mates rates and all those sorts of things, right? But this is it. We're back on track, and I hope you stick with me. Cheers.